Hey, so just wanted to quickly get on here. People ask me about getting involved in guerrilla self-protection, and they ask me about things like essentially how to make connections, how the program runs, what I expect out of the program members, and things like that. And I just wanted to say that it's pretty simple, really, because this is not a money-making model. My thing is that really, at the end of the day, the instructors of guerrilla self-protection are doing their own thing. You get as much support from me as I can possibly give you. I will do whatever I can to help you, but at the end of the day, it's your community, your school, your program, and you're free to basically run it the way you want, as long as it upholds the standards of GSP, meaning that you're serving people, helping people, doing some of the requirements that are asked of you as far as staying certified and things like that. Beyond that, I will provide some promotional assistance. I will allow you to have your own group page. I will allow you to I think there's freedom in the actual program itself. I'm teaching concepts, so where you go with those concepts and where you go with some of the materials in the concepts to some extent is up to you. I think that as long as we're keeping our audience in mind for what we're trying to accomplish, that there's variability in there to be able to, meet the needs of our direct audience in our community. So it isn't really a static thing. It's more about giving you guys the tools to adapt and meet your audience's needs. So if there's an area where you want to see it grow, then by all means contribute. It isn't a one-man down type of organization. I was trying to create something that's non-hierarchical, so anybody can participate, anybody can provide information, training, etc. If you have a skill, if you have an interest in something specific that's not being covered, by all means include it. It's going to fall under scrutiny. I'm going to look at it, and other people are going to look at it. So, you have to have no ego or pride in this, and you have to be able to let people communicate to you and tweak and modify. And that's kind of the thing. I mean, there's nobody, from a guerrilla self-protection standpoint, there's nobody here who is above reproach. If something's not working, then we need to modify it and move on, and that includes my own stuff. But I don't want to do this in, I don't want people just doing their own thing completely. Bring it to the group, let the whole group work with it and figure out if it works for everybody, because if it does, well, that's a better situation for the whole group. So as far as reaching your communities and producing letters and introductions and things like that, I'll help you any way I can with that. I'll produce templates and things of the sort. But ultimately, if you find that something works better than another thing, man, share that with the group, because we all could benefit from better networking skills and better tools and such. So that's really what it's about. It's guerrilla for a reason. It's community, and it's about everybody in the community doing what works best and most efficiently with the least, how do I want to say it, with the least amount of force or whatever needed materials. So if there's ways to say the things we need to say in a better way, then by all means share those. Don't just keep them to yourself. That doesn't benefit the group. So this is about a global initiative to impact people who are oppressed for positive change in their communities. So to empower them and to give them, what they need to be able to fight back. So if you're gonna isolate yourself, then you're not benefiting the group, and then it basically defeats the purpose of it. So that's basically how this thing runs. Guerrilla self-protection is not top-down. It is currently because I'm the one who's mostly leading the charge, but eventually I think that it needs to be community-driven, so our community to reach all the other communities out there. So that's the basic deal. Thanks. See you, Ray. Woo, woo.